Hi, I'm Mike Schlender. I'm Deputy Laboratory Director for Operations for PNNL and Chief Operating Officer. Over the next year or so, we'll be sponsoring a series of small videos that highlight our safe conduct of research principles. These principles are ideas that underpin how we conduct our research in our laboratories that have been built on collective experience of all of our Battelle affiliated laboratories. These are personal experiences that we've had in terms of things that actually have not gone well, but how we've corrected and built those principles into the work that we conduct every day. Because any kind of discovery that we have in our laboratories, it needs to be underpinned by competency and the safety of how we conduct our work, not only for the folks that are performing the work, for those around us. This will distinguish us as a national laboratory and the impact that we want to have for the nation. What you're going to see in this video is a personal experience from Allison Campbell around the principle of learning never stops.
So I was riding my bicycle in Washington, D.C. early in the morning, and I was riding a regular route that I normally ride when I'm in the D.C. area, and I made a decision when I got to the Thomas Jefferson Memorial to try a different route. And I'm riding along, and I'm kind of riding through some water and thinking it's okay, and I see a big puddle up ahead, and I'm like, okay, no problem. I hit this puddle, and I either hit a lip in the concrete or a big crater, and my bike tire went down, and I went right over the handlebars and landed on my face. And it didn't knock me out, but I got up, and I could tell already my jersey was covered in blood, and I could see it. I couldn't feel anything. I got my phone out and checked to see if I had teeth, which I did. My bike was fine, there was nobody around. So I rode down to the Department of Commerce, and there was a security officer there, and he helped me out. And then I eventually got back to my hotel room and then to the ER. Yeah, I consider myself to be a advanced cyclist. So I cycle, 6,000 to 8,000 miles a year on the roads. And I have what I would say is better than average bike handling skills, which is, I think, one reason I thought a puddle is a puddle. And I've ridden through a lot of puddles in my day. So the idea of a beginner's mind is when you're learning a new skill, you're incredibly diligent about all of the things that can go wrong, as well as your level of competency. And like you said, as you get better skilled at something, you become a little bit more complacent or confident in your abilities. And you sort of lose that beginner's mind, which is, what can bite me? And I think I totally lost my cycling beginner's mind. When you're learning to ride a bike, you're aware of all the cars that are coming at you and the holes in the road and the dips in the road and how steep the hills are. When you get better and you're used to those things, you become more complacent. And so this just reminded me that the beginner's mind is a really useful way to approach things in your personal and professional lives. A lot of what I did as a scientist was the same experiments over and over and over again. And I might change them slightly, different parameters. And you just sort of get into this lull that, I've worked with sulfuric acid every day for the last 10 years. And nothing's happened bad. And you get a little bit complacent, because it's true for not just safety, but for everything that we do. We're researchers, learning never stops. Look for those triggers where you have a new compound or a different set of wires or whatever it is your work involves, and say, okay, I'm good, but this is different than what I'm used to. We're accountable for our own safety. And while I did a lot of things right, I also did a few things wrong and, paid for it.